Right now, someone who's less capable than you is outpacing you. Why? Because they exude certainty. They speak with authority, walk with purpose, and claim what they want without hesitation. And guess what? The world buys it. Meanwhile, you're stuck in indecision, waiting for the perfect moment, the ideal words, or the right feeling. As you hesitate, someone else steps in and takes what's rightfully yours. Confidence isn't just a quality, it's a weapon. And if you don't wield it, someone else will use it to defeat you. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. It's not always the most skilled who rise. It's those who are certain in their actions. Those who take what they want. The uncertain, no matter how brilliant, will always be overshadowed. Because power isn't granted to the best, it's seized by the bold. This video isn't about inspiration or comfort. It's about mastering control. Today, you'll learn how to banish hesitation, speak like a ruler, and move with the confidence that demands respect. Watch closely, because from this point on, there will be no room for weakness. You weren't born this way. Weakness wasn't innate, it was taught. Over time, you were conditioned to seek approval, to please others, and to fear judgment. That voice inside you that second guesses, apologizes too much, or waits for permission, that's not you. That's the servant inside you. And if you don't silence that voice, you'll never break free. Machiavelli didn't whisper his intentions, he commanded them. He didn't wait to be understood. He acted and let others catch up. He didn't ask for power. He seized it, because he knew that those who beg for it don't deserve it. Your transformation begins with reversal. When you want to shrink, grow. When you want to explain yourself, stay silent. When you feel the urge to apologize, hold your ground. Confidence doesn't come from waiting to feel ready. It's built through actions that the servant inside you would never dare take. Move faster. Occupy space. Stop nodding. Stop softening your words. Speak as though your words are decisions, not mere suggestions. Confidence isn't a mindset, it's an identity, and that identity must be forged in defiance. Here's your first rule. Kill anything that makes you small. A thought, a habit, or a person. Destroy it. If it makes you hesitate, confront it. If it weakens you, deny it. If it seeks approval, laugh it off. Society will tell you to be kind, polite, and humble. But here's the truth. Nice men are tools. They're used, discarded, and forgotten. Powerful men don't beg for kindness. They are precise, controlled, and calculated. You don't need validation, and you don't need permission. The only thing you need is the courage to become feared, not by others, but by the version of yourself that still seeks approval. Because once you eliminate the servant inside, the ruler within awakens. Powerful men don't make an entrance with noise. They make it with presence. It's not their voice, but their silence that commands respect. The quiet man is the one to be feared, because no one knows what he's thinking. When you enter a room, you don't look for validation. You observe. You let others rush to prove themselves while you quietly assess. Your posture speaks before you do. You move slowly, not because you're uncertain, but because you're in no rush. Predators wait. They're calm until it's time to strike. Predators never sprint. They wait, still and ready. Most people rush. They speak fast, interrupt, often trying to impress, trying to prove themselves. But when you enter a room like you own it, you don't speak to impress. You speak because you've already decided. Every word you speak carries weight. Your words are final. Your presence is undeniable. The quiet ones are the ones who control the room, because they've already mastered themselves. People stop challenging you. Instead, they align with you. When they speak, you don't rush in. You let them reveal their insecurities, their needs, and their fears. Because the first one to speak often gives away their vulnerabilities. And once you know that, you control the game. You don't chase power. You become the force that attracts it. Confidence, at this level, is not about seeking approval. It's about making others doubt their own position by simply being near them. You walk as though victory is already yours, not with arrogance, but with the quiet confidence of someone who's already chosen their path. If they respect you, great. If they don't, even better. Because indifference to validation is the most powerful form of strength. When you enter the room, you don't need to claim it. By the time you leave, everyone will feel as though it was always yours. Not through demands, but because your presence makes it so. Words are not mere sounds. They're tools of power. Most people speak as if they're asking for permission to exist. You can spot them a mile away. They end every sentence with uncertainty. They laugh nervously. They speak with qualifiers like, "I think," or "I'm not sure." They apologize before they've even said anything important. That isn't communication. It's self-sabotage. Machiavelli understood this truth. True power isn't in what you say. It's in how you say it. When you speak with unshakable certainty, people don't analyze your words. They submit to the weight of your confidence. Here's the truth. People are emotional, not logical. They don't follow facts. They follow certainty. If you speak as though you are right, they assume you are. If you hesitate, they question your worth. So, what does a Machiavellian voice sound like? It's slow, deliberate, and final. You speak as if your words are commands, not open for negotiation. You speak like someone who expects obedience, even in a room full of experts. Speak like you've already made the decision, and the room will follow. And here's what few understand. You don't have to speak often to command respect. In fact, the more you talk, the more you risk revealing your insecurities, giving others a chance to challenge you. Speak less, mean more. When you do speak, eliminate weakness. No filler, no explanations, no apologies. Never say, "I'm just saying," or "I could be wrong." These are crutches for the weak. Throw them out. Say what you mean, and let silence follow. Because silence after a strong statement is powerful. It dares people to challenge you, but most won't. Why? Because they fear what you might say next. Understand this. The tone of your voice is your true message. Words are just the surface. Your tone reveals everything: your confidence, your authority, your place in the hierarchy. Lower your pitch. Slow your speech. Remove nervousness. Sound like someone who has nothing to prove, someone in control. Speak like a man who has already decided and expects the world to catch up. You don't win by shouting. You win by speaking in a way that makes people feel your words are undeniable. Rulers speak this way. Generals speak this way. Kings in exile speak this way before they reclaim their thrones. And if someone challenges you, don't defend yourself. Don't argue. Simply say, "I disagree," or "That's incorrect." Then move on. Because when you refuse to engage, you signal something terrifying, that your reality is not up for debate. That's how you control the room without raising your voice. Confidence isn't about volume. It's about the gravity behind your words. Because true power isn't about being heard. It's about speaking like you can't be wrong. And once you master this, you'll realize that confidence without control is nothing more than decoration. You can walk tall, speak with authority, and move with grace. But if someone can still trigger you with a single word, you are exposed. Most men fail here. They know how to command presence. They know how to speak powerfully, but their emotions still belong to others. A slight insult and they react. A compliment and they soften. A silence and they spiral. You're not truly free until you master your emotions. And that begins by rewiring your identity. The moment they know what gets to you, you lose control. Once people realize what you care about, where you are vulnerable, they own you. Your power fades. You become predictable, and predictability makes you weak. But what if you could stop reacting? What if you could stay calm, cool, and collected no matter what? The truth is, most people are controlled by their reactions. Someone insults them, and they scramble for an explanation. Someone flatters them, and they chase the approval. Someone ignores them, and they panic. The trick is to stop reacting and start observing. When you stop allowing yourself to be moved emotionally, you gain control. When someone insults you, don't lash out. Just watch what's really going on. What do they want from you? What are they hiding? Praise? Don't get lost in it. Analyze why it's being given to you now. What's the hidden agenda? Ignorance? Don't take it personally. Let it roll off you. Stay colder, remain unmoved. The true power comes from what doesn't move you. Becoming psychologically unreachable isn't about being emotionless, it's about being unshakable. You feel everything, but you act only when it serves your purpose. When tested, you don't react. You remain calm, unaffected. Why? Because your mind is a fortress. You decide who gets in and when. Here's the thing. Most men are so easy to manipulate. Tell them they're not good enough. They'll explain themselves, praise them, and they'll chase you. Pull away, and they'll beg for your attention. That's not power, that's being programmed. You must break free from this cycle. To rewire, start by killing the need to be understood. This is the root cause of your weakness. The constant desire for validation, for others to get you, is what makes you controllable. Burn it. You don't exist to be understood. You exist to move the world around you, silently, surgically, and strategically. You need to kill the fear of rejection. The Machiavellian mind doesn't seek acceptance, it controls access. You don't need invitations. You make people wonder what happens when you decide they're no longer allowed in your life. And when they beg for access, you decide if you want to let them back. Reactions? Don't waste your energy on them. Emotions are real, but they're irrelevant unless you choose to use them. Anger, fuel, insult, leverage, doubt, silence. You use emotions as tools, not weaknesses. Let your actions do the talking later. Rejection isn't a wound, it's a signal, a gift that reveals the truth. This is how powerful men are made. They're not robotic, they're undeniable. Once no one can trigger you emotionally, they can only watch you move with precision. And they'll fear what comes next. Let others chase peace and understanding. You chase clarity and control. Because the world doesn't respond to your feelings, it responds to what you project: certainty, direction, and gravity. And when your identity becomes rock solid, you become dangerous. Not because you're loud or violent, but because you're unreachable. You stop chasing, you stop reacting, and you start moving the pieces around you. People will test you. They'll try to manipulate you, praise you, ignore you, or even tempt you. But nothing works. You stay the same, cold, calm, calculated. In time, they stop trying because they realize something terrifying. You cannot be moved. This is the final transformation. Not posture, not speech, not appearance. It's identity. You are no longer shaped by others. You shape the room. You shape the rules. You shape the outcome. You don't need to be accepted. You don't need anything from anyone. Now, you belong to no one. Rejection doesn't feel like failure when you see it for what it is. A test. People reject what they think they can live without. If they reject you, it's because they think they've lost nothing. That's not an insult, it's intel. You now know where you stand, and it's a strategic advantage. Step 1. Never appear affected. The moment you show pain, you've lost. It's not about them, it's about your legacy. A Machiavellian mind doesn't panic. It makes the room colder. You weren't rejected. They were disqualified from accessing you. Step 2. Withdraw like a weapon. What happens when you take something people took for granted away? They feel the loss. That's your power. No explanations, no emotional goodbyes, just strategic absence. While they feel the void, you rebuild. Step 3. Reframe the narrative. Rejection only has power when it appears you were chasing. Reframe the story for yourself. You weren't rejected. You chose to walk away from something too small for you. They failed. And now, you know everything you need to know. Step 4. Convert rejection into control. Rejection cuts through confusion like a blade. Now you know who respects you, who uses you, and who fears you. Sharpen your edge. Amplify your value. Let those who ignored you now be forced to explain themselves when they mention your name. Step 5. Weaponize your comeback. The goal isn't revenge, it's calculated. Time will do the work for you. Reappear only when your success makes their rejection impossible to ignore. You won't need to say a word. A glance, or better yet, no glance at all, will do. You're not trying to be accepted. You're setting the standard. And that's power. Rejection isn't defeat, it's the filter that shows you who doesn't belong. Finally, rejection is not personal. It's positional. It's about positioning yourself as untouchable. So don't react, evolve. Become someone the world can't afford to overlook. Because legends aren't made through noise. They're made through silence, precision, and ruthless consistency. You aren't here to fit in. You're here to reshape the world around you. You're not asking to be accepted. You're making the rules. Now, stop chasing approval. Become the man they can't control. The one who no longer needs anyone to validate his existence. Because now, you move with the world, not react to it.